do you feel? How do you feel at this moment?
In regards to what?
The reason I ask is because of your body language. It seems like, and I don't know you, so I don't have anything to compare it to.
It's time to start talking about solutions and pointing the finger at, oh, well, that's a perfect example. She didn't listen. I didn't listen because I was bored. Point blank. It had nothing to do with my intellectual ability.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What's good? It's JCTV tapping back in with y'all. Today we got a Lapeef panel, and it seems like he got Saint in the center on there, and Cooley and a couple other people, and it seems like Saint gets into it with the young lady, saying she's bored. Shout out to Saint in the center. I consume some of his content. I might react to some of his stuff soon. I agree with a lot of stuff he says. He has an interesting debate style. It's just kind of interesting, his debate style. But as far as his philosophies and his thoughts, I tend to agree with him. But let's get into this Lapeef video, see what they're talking about.
I agree with that. And like you made a great point, you brought up the Nation of Islam. And that's funny because historically the last great royal or the last great empire that we have was an Islamic one, ironically. So how do y'all feel about that? Do you think that Islam would be the answer? Not saying I'm a Muslim because, I used to be, but I'm really not into religion at this point. But if that was the past thing that worked for us, do you think that can be a remedy today or no?
May I ask a strange question real quick?
Before he...
Aisha, I've never met you before, but how do you feel? How do you feel at this moment?
In regards to what?
Your personal feeling. How do you feel?
I was about to comment on the... I was about to get distracted and then comment on the last black successful civilization being Muslim, but that's not what this video is about. So Saint already getting into it. That's one thing that I like, and you can tell with that I admire about people is when they're paying attention to people's facial expressions and they're paying attention to people's moods and energies. And Saint gonna call it out for sure. So let's see what's up.
Like, how are you?
Am I in a good mood today?
Yeah, like, how are you? How do you feel right now?
I'm good. I'm fine.
Okay. The reason I ask is because of your body language. It seems like, and I don't know you, so I don't have anything to compare it to. This could be your physical representation of happiness. But I ask in as much as we got all black folks here. We're discussing the issues of our community. And it almost seems like maybe you're a bit drained. And I don't know you. That's why I ask you.
He's a real smart man. How he sets up his questions, it's disarming. And if you answer a certain way, it makes you look a certain way.
I don't know why you're concerned with me being drained or not, but I'm definitely not drained, and I'm.
And then she's saying that, like, and that's so you got to watch people like that. That's disingenuous. You are on a panel. And when you're you're engaging with people, especially if you're on a panel, you look disinterested, you look bored, you look like you're drained. You could tend to drain the energy of the conversation. And talking like this, saying you're not drained, is extremely telling. Look at everybody else. Everybody else is up, alert, and engaged. And her mouth saying one thing, her attitude saying something different.
Definitely listening and have been a part of the conversation the entire night. I just think that you guys were having your own dialect, and I probably zoned out
Dialect is crazy.
A couple of times because you're long-winded, and I felt like I already knew the point of what was going to be said.
Yeah, that goes right there. Him being long-winded, you already knew the point. So you're disinterested. You're drained. Looks like you're drained of energy because he was long-winded and you didn't care about whatever point you felt he was making or not. So you feel drained. You gotta watch women, especially women and dudes that act like women. When you ask them a direct, because you've noticed Saint in the Center asked her a direct question. He asked her a direct question. How are you feeling? You seem like a little drained and stuff. I'm not drained. I've been engaging the whole time. Then she proceeds to explain uh the reason of being drained, because she's bored, uninterested in the conversation, and Saint in the center talks too long, and she already knew what he was gonna say. You see how that? Come on, man.
But no, I'm doing just fine.
And then the condens. They gonna end it with, "But no, I'm doing just fine." Come on, baby. Like, speak straight. But I understand she a woman, but to the ladies out there, pay attention to this. Like, we can see this, we can see it, but she's so much in her emotions, she doesn't even know that you're giving all, like, you're reading, like, you're open like a book. We ain't listening to what you're saying. We listen to how you're acting, and then a little bit what you're saying. Explaining why you are bored, basically, and then saying you're fine. Look at my man's in the middle right here. That's how I feel. Like, wait, what? What are you talking about, baby? Make it make sense, baby. Come on.
I yield the floor.
And I like how he did that. I yield the floor.
That was kind of strange.
Go ahead, True. You want to chime in?
I like how he say he yielded the floor. He ain't gonna argue with you. You already showing yourself. You like a little kid right now. You act like, it just makes you look bad, baby. Like, that's it. It just makes you look bad.
No, I mean, they laying down pillars. I think that there's a consensus thought, the fact that we do need structure, ideology. I don't know if we need to tie a tag to it, Islamic, Christian. I think that that's where things get a little bit muddy. And I think,
shout out True Table, because he's going back to that, and I'll speak on that. Just like my video, a couple videos back, when it's talking about, do black people have culture? And whether it's Islam or Muslim or Christian or whatever, that's a part of culture, having one ideal, standing under one ideal for the most part of the majority of us. And that's what would help us gain our own identity / our own culture. So I understand that. I like that conversation, that culture conversation.
And because we do that now, we're very trying to figure out what maybe be a superior approach. I think that we need to figure out what is most conducive for progress. And it could be as simple as patriarchal structure. It could be as simple as men are leading the charge. It could be as simple as having conversations. What I believe occurs more often than not is the men are not the ones who are so much divided. I think when we start having conversations, we're still battling the women that want to have a different approach to what progress looks like. And when
that's 100% fact. Majority of the black men that I speak to that are actual stand-up men or actual men, we tend to agree on majority of things. It be the mama boys and the women that are going against us.
We say, well, this is what we need to do, we'll be told we're not leading correctly. But then when you ask them, why are we not leading correctly? What are you comparing it to? Are you comparing to the fact that you have a job? Are you comparing it to the fact that you have a great FICO score? And then that's where it gets really, really muddy. So I think the conversation needs to happen amongst the families of each other, from an individual level, from the women of the community, to figure out what it is that they want out the deal. Because from an ideological perspective, we need to know where we're headed.
Right.
Like, having a strategy is great. Conversations are great. Where are we headed? What is the point of gearing up? What is the point of formulating strategies? What is the point of any of it? Where are we headed? And I don't know if we can answer that tonight or maybe next.
True. I can agree to that. It's funny here because we're on this panel. All of us are black, and I don't think women should lead at all. Just the simple fact that Marquette asked, I believe her name is Aisha, a question.
Cooley go bring it back in. Shout out Cooley. But that's the reason why. That's the reason why. And that's the player part about it. Cooley knows what's up. But because that's something that needs to be addressed, that type of actions. The other two brothers are trying to just move on. And I understand that. And True said a lot of good things. But Cooley going to bring it all back around.
She said, it was long-winded. I zoned out. This would tell you something about the woman's nature, right? You don't lean on the woman Like they're actually supposed to be a good listener, but they tend to not really do that job good. You know what I mean? So we don't lean on the woman or have to ask
Cooley shoot straight shots.
our women for direction and things like that. No, men need to take charge, and we need to lead our women.
He's speaking though. He's speaking the truth. We got to, as men, we got to take charge, Obi.
He's a prime example, right? Prime example. And nothing on you, Aisha. I'm just saying, like, she didn't. Marquette was speaking very intellectual. He was speaking concise and clear. And for you to tune out and not listen,
I was absolutely still bored, and it has nothing to do with my intellectual ability. I'm 2 degrees in. They were going.
She said degrees. Baby, degrees. All right. Go.
Back and forth for about 10 minutes about the same topic, and I felt like it was very redundant. I think the conversation took a left turn and it went from the original topic. So when those two gentlemen started conversing amongst each other, in my opinion, it had nothing to do with what we were all speaking on the panel. So my focus just.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
To be fair, and even you, Illa, y'all talked about the same thing for about a good 10.
Illa's face is hilarious.
Minutes. So it wasn't
See,
that
this is
in my opinion. I'm really not trying to be rude and disrespectful, but I feel like the brothers are trying to start this red pill, blue pill thing, and I just don't even feel like entertaining it because it's just not where I'm at right now. I think the conversation was about black fatigue, and then we went on to talk about Pearl and all of these things. I think I said this earlier. We all know that we have degenerate classes in society. We know that these things exist, right? We don't have to sit on platforms all day, every day, and discuss those. And to True's defense, like he said, it's time to start talking about solutions and pointing the finger at, oh well, that's a perfect example. She didn't listen. I didn't listen because I was bored.
Exactly, and we point out solutions. And at least if you are uninterested, act like you engaged. You on a panel, like act like you engaged. Don't just sit up there like this. That's really disrespectful to Lapeef's whole thing, and that's the whole thing. Just have some sort of etiquette. Just because that little part of the conversation you weren't as intrigued about, and you have every right to be that. But as etiquette, as a woman, just play the part. Just play the part. You don't have to look so like you just discussed it with everything. Just because it's not, the conversation ain't going the exact way you feel like it should go. Tighten up, baby.
Point blank. It had nothing to do with my intellectual ability or my ability to listen or receive information.
It has to do with your emotional intelligence and your patience. And that has a lot to do with your intellectual ability. It has a lot to do with comprehension. And it has a lot to do with interactions and people skills. And if we're talking about nation building, you need to learn those type of things. Because I don't care, you could have read 90 books in your life and know everything front to back, the most intellectual woman in the world with 90 degrees. But if you don't know how to be respectful, if you don't know how if you don't know how to act correctly in certain things without looking like pouting and looking bored like a kid, just because the conversation isn't going the way you want it to go, then yeah, that we're not gonna get far. It's gonna be bickering and fighting.
Information. So I just don't think that was true. I seen a couple of people. I think Sweeney does though. Like let's be for real. I'm pretty sure he didn't hear everything the conversation was about, but he wanted to take his time to point out me, which I think
he trying to get at Sweeney. Sweeney up here in the top left. He like, what? He looked at the camera like, why are you calling me out?
It's very lovely, and I love the disingenuous concern. But I was just clearly bored because y'all went back and forth for 10 minutes, and I'm not in the business of.
I'm gonna slide after this.
Going back and forth, so I just let y'all speak because
we heard you. Like you
I'm not
yourself 4 times.
Disrespectful.
Hey, look.
Can I just say I'm about to leave, Sweeney? I'm about to leave, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, I don't think Sweeney.
That's unfortunate that you said that, because Marquette was actually breaking down solutions of how we can do that. He gave what he's doing. He gave stats about moving forward. That conversation wasn't even about
no, what he went into was talking about global strategies in Africa. And as y'all know, I don't care nothing about what's going on over there in Africa, Jamaica, any of it. I only care about what's going on in the Black American community. So
I'll let you talk. I'm about to leave.
And I'm letting you know, like why it was.
We heard you. We heard you. You got it.
He started talking about.
It's the issue. Look at her. Look at her. Now she's angry because she got called out of her rude and insufferable behavior, and now she finna just disrespect the whole panel and overtalk everybody. Can't nobody check her. Who gonna check her? That's that little energy she got. Boo boo.
Here, and then he went across the pond. And
no. We just. I'm gonna go after this.
First.
Okay, but that's what he was talking about. He was actually talking about going home. I was talking about going abroad. So he was keeping it home. Yeah. I was just expanding the conversation, but that's neither here nor there. But the fact that you said, hold on, the fact that you said what you said after all of that proves that we have a long way to go, because you just did, and I noticed you did this on the last panel, because we was on the panel last time with Pretty Intellectual. You was bringing up how white men are like us, and then when she left the panel, you had a whole different take. So what I learned about you from that night to tonight is, hold on. What I learned about you,
Illa gotta be more concise with his points and make him hit harder when he speaks, especially when you're on a panel of 8 people.
From last show to this show. Hold on. What I learned about you, what I learned about you from last show to this show is you're a follower. You don't have a mind of your own, and whatever's the flow. Hold on. Whatever's the flow.
He don't know me.
I'm good on that. But what I'm saying is, you either go with the flow or you're just a contrarian, because that whole conversation.
Hopefully, someone else taps in soon, because Illa is doing more of like ad hominem attacks. I want to see what Saint or Cooley got to say, or even Sweeney, because she called him out, and I don't think he was uninterested. I don't think he fell asleep.
You undermining the whole night, for real.
You're undermining the whole night.
You undermining the whole night. But what I'm saying is, we was having a conversation. We were having a conversation that was open to the entire panel. The only reason why I would speak, because no one was talking. And I think that's kind of why Marquette was speaking. Nobody was speaking in absolutes. Everything that man was saying, and I don't agree with everything Saint and Sinner say, but what he was saying tonight made absolute sense, and it was strictly
to you, though. That's your interpretation of what he said.
You said you had, sweetheart. You just said you had 2 degrees and you're so intelligent, but you're showing nothing but ignorance.
You're showing all night. You've been lacking intelligence.
No, I just show passion.
You've been interrupting and being disrespectful.
Cool, sweetheart. Women like you, sweetheart.
All right, Illa, wrap it up.
Like you, who are single, who are not in relationships.
You think so? You think so?
Come on, Illa, stick on point. That's what I'm saying. You're getting into her realm right now.
Panels and disrespect black women all day.
I disrespect black women?
Anything to you.
I disrespect black women?
I didn't listen to you. That's why you're mad.
You don't have to listen to me. It's not about listening to me. It's your value.
Listen to you. I'm not finna keep listening to you babble.
You don't have to. It's not about you. That's fine. That's fine.
You just like to hear yourself talk, sir.
That's fine, sweetheart. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we have the
black women are the most smart.
Come on, Lapeef, cut this out.
This is why we.
No. You're being mad. You're being crazy right now. But at the end of the day, we was having a productive conversation. I think everybody contributed excellently. Even you. That's why what you're doing right now is mad weird. It doesn't make any sense. And it proves that you're just up here to be. All right, I'm not about to argue.
You're gonna throw rocks at your.
Man, you 5 minutes in, Illa, I'd never going back and forth with. The minute she cut me off the first 2 times, I'll give her 2 times. The first one was probably slip. The second time she did it, I would have been like, all right, unless JR gonna mute her mic, I'm not finna keep going back and forth until I can speak.
hands.
May
He
I-
literally called me out in front of the
May I
whole panel.
reply?
I didn't even
didn't
say
call you out.
anything,
Yeah, I
and
got
y'all
you, I got
doubled back until I had something
No,
to say.
you just sounded like
Now that I have
Aisha,
something to say,
Aisha,
you just sounded like a fake smart person.
It's cool.
That's why you had to bring up your
I'm
degrees,
gone.
because you're
I
not
got
that
rid of
because you're not that intelligent.
We good.
Now
on,
I'm talking to you. Yeah, do that.
Oh, she done ran off.
Damn it.
Thank you.
The clown.
I want to note that as if we
Ironically.
Oh man.
So
Hold on, I messed up. I was going to speak on Illa. He did okay. At least I know it's right when she left. Illa, you passion and emotion is not good in debates, because then it just seems like two siblings or two lovers fighting, and that's not good for TV. Just going back and forth like that. Y'all both trying to overtalk each other, and y'all not making points. She's in her feelings, and you were in your feelings. Come on, Illa. You gotta do better than that.
damn it. The clown.
I want to note that as if we identify together, then we should be able to address one another. Meaning, if I say, True, how are you feeling right now? It's a legitimate question, and we can address one another and deal with the way that we're comporting ourselves. One of the things that I did hear Pearl say that I thought was reasonable, among a lot of things that were unreasonable, she said the attitude. And I have
right. He's gonna expound, but that's the same. Yeah, that's what I noticed as well. Man, you could call me out if you feel like I'm acting out of order or you don't like how I'm acting. You could, like how Saint call her out. Yeah, speak like that with respect, but say it like that. You feel me? Like, yeah. And then if I have an issue, I'll be like, well, I didn't like or agree with when you said XYZ, and I felt like you were XYZ. You should be able to say it instead of getting angry, rage quitting. Mrs. 9 Degrees couldn't even take the heat. She just hopped off the whole live. And I guarantee you she's still watching it, though.
to agree with her. The attitude is sometimes not where it needs to be. With women, black women, it might be negative, and with black males, they might not be very masculine. They mumble when they speak. They don't make strong eye contact. They might not be responsible and timely. We all have our issues, but if we're going to be the leadership class, we should be able to take feedback and give feedback, because the truth of the matter, even if she was bored, and I've been in a lot of lecture halls, I've been in meetings where I've been bored. But one thing out of what's called decorum is that
decorum. That's the word I think I was missing. I was trying to get to earlier about just having respect. Just come on, man. Everything ain't gonna be as super interesting or like, you feel me? But just act as such. Just keep on acting like, play the part for the greater good of the show.
You don't make yourself look like that as an adult. It's a childlike thing to do. And so as a grown man, I asked her, how do you feel? Now she said, hey, I'm 9 months pregnant. The baby's about to come out and I'm feeling tired and having hot flashes. I'm just barely here. I'm like, I understand. I have understanding. But that's why I asked her, how are you? As opposed to saying, hey, the way you look right now, you look disinterested and impolite, and you're misrepresenting yourself. And if we identify as black people, you're misrepresenting black people. So when you hear folks talk about black fatigue, there are undoubtedly ways that we represent ourselves that need to be addressed. And if we don't address it, that's when it gets talked about by all the other ethnicities, and they call it black fatigue. I yield the floor.
Perfect way to end it. He brought it all the way back around, and she was the main example. That was a perfect, beautiful way to end it. That's the black fatigue that the people are talking about. There's a little, and that's what I'm saying. We got to stop being so emotional as black people. We will never be as good as we need to be if we remain this emotional. We got to be real. We got to be realistic. The way she was acting was out of line. The way Illa was arguing back and forth with her, out of line. As a man, like, come on, like, we ain't doing that. I'd have been stopped. The minute you start over talking, I'm not about to yell back and forth. I don't care what you say. You can say anything. I'm not gonna continue talking until the moderator, get some order in here. But the way the Saint in the Center broke that down was beautiful. Cooley had a great, beautiful assist by bringing it back around. My boy True Table was spitting some knowledge for sure. But yeah, you go check out the Lapeef Network. I'm gonna be reacting to some more of their panels for sure. I'm gonna be reacting to some more Cooley, and as well Saint in the center. But yeah, this is JCTV, man. I'll holla at y'all. Peace.